Fam, happy Monday to you all. Hope you had a great weekend, guys. Okay, a very good weekly finish from the markets. Bitcoin itself, altcoins, very good finish. Nice, strong engulfing candle, okay, with no wicks, right? Very interesting. Like, you can see the last 3 weeks before this, you could see that there was this decision that needed to be made, right? Uncertainty. You could see the wicks everywhere, right? Wick to the down, wick to the up, wick to the up, wick to the down, right? A lot of fighting. Last week, as things started to settle, you see a very full green candle over here, right? Which shows you that not only was there buying power and there was buying in all of this uncertainty, it's showing you that it's very strong. We're not seeing that much sell pressure on the market right now. Now, yesterday I did a stream on a Sunday, right? Which was great. It was nice to catch up with the fam. But I did say that I think this candle is going to start off red and then it's going to turn green, right? Which means today I am officially taking 3 altcoin trades with you guys today, right? And I'm going to show you guys why I'm going extremely long when it comes to my trading positions on these areas. A lot of altcoins broke trends yesterday, and a lot of them are coming in for great retest right now. I can easily see 10 altcoins in buy zones right now. Again, this is a very bullish candle that we saw over here, okay, and giving us a really strong insight that now we are starting to get to full candles again. Right? When there's wicks, there's uncertainty. When there is full candles, you can see these candles also start off a little bit red and they turn green, right? You will see that real momentum is starting to build. And again, we have to get very excited and obviously prepared, okay, that the next candle is all-time highs, right? And we know that there is liquidity sitting at 112 to 113. So again, I see this market opening as a little bit of a, we start off red, and I see this being brought up very quickly. And therefore, the big one for us to obviously pay attention to is the altcoins, because altcoins are actually getting very near a breakout. And I want to show you guys this over here. The big bull flag we've been making is exactly where altcoins stopped, right? Let's just get that back in there. There we go. Exactly where we stopped, right? Which means the next push to the upside is the breakout on altcoins. And it's the weekly breakout. It is where we finally get out of this damn bullish pattern and we actually start trending again. So guys, let's have a fun show together. Let's go through tons of altcoins. Let's get our buys going through. I have the indicator. The indicator is busy screaming a bunch of short-term buys. Just want to show you guys. Bunch of longs everywhere. So we'll go through a couple of these over here and see what the indicator is saying itself as well right now. But let's prepare for ourselves for some strength. Look at this. Altcoins are all breaking out into hot zones now. I'm going long. It's up to you what you want to do with that information. No more wasting time. Let's have a great show. Let's make money, baby. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Banter fam, branch channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, like it up. How are we all doing? I want to congratulate the winners last week. I see we had 1 or 2 winners for the indicator last week, the BitFundeds. I really think this pullback right now, if anyone got BitFunded accounts, right, either you bought them or you won them from the show, okay, I highly suggest on this pullback, again, no advice, but on this pullback to start your BitFunded accounts, because to pass the next 2 levels now on these on this pullback now, the market is trying to get what's starting to get quite obvious of where to buy and where to put a stop loss. And that's all you want as a trader, right? You just want certainty of where to protect yourself in a good area. You're not just going to get chopped out for no reason, right? A stop loss is there just in case things are going to melt up at any point, okay? And secondly, you want good risk to reward. And right now we are seeing tons of risk to reward. Now, guys, I've heard this many times. I've officially become a real YouTuber. I want to show you what I bought on the weekend. Apparently, this is what real streamers have. I got this thing. How cool? I'm a little bit of like a nerd outside of crypto, which is cool. But I'm still learning the sayings, and I'm hoping I can change it soon. But it's pretty damn cool. I can turn this on. Then you drive it. How sick? Cool, eh? And I can make it angry. I can make it all those type of things. So pretty damn sick. Just wanted to show you guys. I am a little bit of a nerd outside. How do I turn this thing off again? And you can actually wear it, which is very cool. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Hope you're all doing well. Wear it. I will wear it. I will wear it. I will wear it. I actually, funny story. I bought it and I went home to go show the wife. And I had it on. And I walked in and I walked into the door like I was cool. But both my kids are a little bit sick. And they were both sleeping. So I got the most horrific look in the world ever. I thought I was like so cool. Yeah, I was not cool. Like I was making noise and waking up the little ones, and yeah, it happens. It happens. We learn, right? This is what happens when you trade with no stop losses, right? It's a good idea. Take the trade, no stop loss. You come in there, liquidated. Okay. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's go. Okay, guys, let's jump into a couple of things. Weekly's looking good. So again, we now must obviously get ready for a short squeeze. At any point, the real short squeeze. Again, what I've kind of been putting together here, the longer that we're kind of trending sideways over here, the targets are starting to slowly rise up to the upside, right? So if you look at upside, you know, I was kind of always preparing specifically over the last couple of months was a push to the 125, 130. This is slowly starting to rise up as we accumulate more, because the more accumulation that's happening, it means the pump is going to be bigger when it comes. Right? That's why accumulation takes time, right? Accumulation, you can see this long period over here, but you can see the sustainability of the pump when it comes, when it's done accumulating, right? So not only do I think this little phase over here has been accumulating, I think all of this has been accumulating, right? So the same way that this was a very big reason for this result that in came over there, all that accumulation is what created this result over here, right? The same way if we kind of zoom out and we go look at how this entire wave over here basically got this entire result over here, right? Okay, it's the same thing of where we are right now. I'm actually taking this entire phase as a accumulating phase because it's been a little bit more volatile in a range, but this has definitely been a accumulating phase. This has definitely been, you know, shake out weak hands or just kind of get, again, I actually want to remove the terminology of weak hands. I don't think anyone's weak hands, but people have emotions and it's real, right? And sometimes we start losing too much or these, and you got to make these tough decisions. But nonetheless, this is kind of where a lot of the shakeouts are happening, and we could just see more and more and more buying just happening on the back end from bigger wallets, right? Less people interested in crypto, more buying than ever, right? And that's why every damn dip we have don't last too long, and they do end up getting bought up. But nonetheless, this for me is now a load up phase, an accumulation phase over here, and we are starting to get some power here at any point for a pump up. We could actually even go to 140 to the 150, you know, 1,000 on the next push to the upside. So that's kind of where our heads need to be at. We need to know we're at resistance again. We need to know that there is buying power. So we mustn't allow as much as market wants to continue to, let's say, chop, or let's say did want to pull back more from here. We just got to stay focused here, because when the real pop happens, we could see the bulls are clearly winning the fight right now. But yet again, I don't think this resistance is going to hold for much longer. I think we've chilled here for a while now, you know, all the way since December. We've been fighting this 109,000. And I think at any moment, the gates are going to open. And it's very similar if you go to a big lake or something and you see the big dam wall, right? If you had to just open up that wall, open up one pillar of that wall, that water is going to fly through so damn fast, right? And just absolutely smash through. And that's the same thing that I see here. I see this wall. I see they're trying to contaminate it. At any point, the smash through happens to start to move. So last week was a good sign when it came to the engulfing. So what that means is whenever you have one team that rarely wins the fight for 1 week, that always means the next team, the other team is going to try hard out the gates when the new candle comes. And that's what we're seeing. We see that the bears are going to try bring this down. And then what I see within this week is start off red. And then I do see it being bought up. And I do see, remember, there's two short squeezes here to pay attention to before I go into the analysis. The first short squeeze is where we stopped. Okay, to the all-time highs. That's the first squeeze, short squeeze. And then the big short squeeze is once we get through all-time highs, right? Then there's that mega squeeze where the market starts to go parabolic. So again, looking at this over here, I think at any point we start definitely within this week, right? Specifically on the bull scenario, that we have the first squeeze. Okay, and we could very much be sitting with Bitcoin close to $110,000 to $113,000 by the end of the week, right? This is a strong candle and erased 3 bare weeks of hard work, right? So the next thing again, obviously, was a nice red candle. We don't get them quite often on the weekly, right? When it comes to the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so this again, this is after 7 weeks to the upside. We saw a red candle last week. This could be a reversal, right? The same way how we saw this red candle over here, and obviously this one here that started a nice little rally up to the downside. So that's a good sign as well. And obviously the big thing for us now is to get ready for the altcoin breakout, because again, Bitcoin and his mates have been inside the club. Now it's time to bring in the hooligans, and the hooligans are the ones that are just the degens that brings in a lot of interest in crypto and a lot of money, and it's the altcoins. And they have just slowly been creeping up. Last week was an engulfing candle, so the green team won, which is a very good sign that the green team's going to come back this week and continue the momentum. And once we break out this trend line at the top over here, so I've got double trends here, then we are going to have a altcoin short squeeze. And the squeeze is not only going to be a nice push to the mid-range, this is going to be a strong push up. So we could be preparing ourselves for a nice 30-40% pump. That will be for Bitcoin to get to all-time highs. And then obviously Bitcoin breaking through will start to get things moving. So a lot of the alts had a good bounce last week. ETH had a good bounce. Remember, ETH actually was in a very, very, very good accumulating zone. For me, don't forget how strong ETH was 2 weeks ago. It's strong again. Okay, and that bounced in a really good area, and so did a bunch of the altcoins. They did bounce on support, which is good. A lot of them are printing in higher lows as it speaks, and now we're just waiting for a lot of them to break out of these big trends, as you can see over here. They're all very close to breakouts. So just know that your higher time frame and your weekly entries are kind of running a little bit low, kind of accumulate. It's a little bit more cash if it gets a bit cheaper, but other than that, kind of just make up your minds and fill up. Again, if you don't have any more money to put in crypto, just make sure you have rearranged your bags, right? Rearrange your altcoins. Make sure you got a lot of blue chips right now. Blue chips in gaming, blue chips in AI, blue chips in the chains, blue chips in all different categories. Okay, let's jump into the juice for today. Let's jump into the plays. So a lot of altcoins have broken trends and coming into retest. So a few altcoins in specific that I'm getting really, interested in buying right now. We all know I'm a big Sol lover. I think there's going to be a lot of news on ETFs. I think there's going to be a lot of announcements. I think Sol's going to just start catching up. It's definitely been one of the strongest altcoins over the last couple of days, and it has broken out a trend and retesting right now. So you got to have the cojones on supports to be buying, and it's showing me right now this 147 to 150 is accumulating zone on Sol. The next pump for me is to the 170 to the 186. That's a midterm, short-term pump. A higher time frame, obviously, think we're going to start hunting down the $240 mark. So this is coming in for a great retest. I will mark out the range over here for you guys. The only difference, guys, so remember, I will always give you a green box range, right? I just want to explain to you the difference here quickly. So we have a big range when it comes to community, right? Some are trading long-term, some are investors, some are day traders, some are leverage traders, all these type of things. So when I give you a box like this, and then I have a yellow line at the bottom, the yellow line is a more or less idea of where stop loss should be. Okay, so let's just type that in over there. And that's just basic views of me looking at FIRB supports, all these type of things, right? But then we have this range. So if you are a spot buyer, you got to understand, if you buy right now on the top of the box, you are facing a 4% risk. 4% as a spot trader is not a bad risk, right? It's actually pretty good. Anything below 5 is good, because remember, your reward is a lot bigger than that, right? Your reward is anywhere of up to 23%. So 4% risk for 23% gain. Right? Risk to reward, your reward is big enough for your risk over there too, right? So for spot, that's good. As a leverage trader, 4% is a bit much, because if you trade a 10x, 4 times 10 is 40%. You don't want to lose 40%, right? So then I would say to you, either then be patient to see if we go lower down in the box where your risk is less, because if price comes down over here, and that's where your risk is at 1% now, that's maybe worth the leverage trade, right? Or what you do is you just zoom in, it's coming into a hot zone, and this is what I'm currently doing, okay? And you put in the major trend line. And you can see there, it's actually very close to breaking. So as a leverage trader, you will run on a trend line technique, shorter time frame trend line technique, and the moment that it starts breaking out here, okay, you can pop a stop loss at the bottom and your risk will be low, right? Again, we may not go to the bottom of this green box. Support right now, and also looking strong. Right? But just remind you again, so spot buy, you're looking at 4% risk right now. Leverage trades, literally in the next hour, we could be breaking the trend. Okay. Again, I don't know how long this candle is going to stay red for. For me, it was very bullish what we saw last week. So I think at any point, this candle is going to turn green. Again, we're going to start the real momentum to the upside again. Okay. Again, it just comes down. So when I give you these ranges here, just know, but where should I buy? Should I wait? Should I this? It all depends on your risk and how much risk you're taking on, right? That's all that depends. If you're not taking on much leverage risk right now, it's a great buy right now. You want to fight for 2-3%, doesn't matter. Leverage traders, put a trend line in. Okay, let's go through quickly the plays on Bitcoin, and then I'll jump back to the alts over here. So Bitcoin hit the big resistance, the trend line resistance. I just want to highlight there. It hit the resistance, right? So again, it was quite obvious that the week was going to start off red today. I think we are going to see a bounce anywhere between this 106 and 107. We might have already hit close to the bounce zones, but I don't think too much lower. If we do decide to go a little bit lower, again, that's why I have the green boxes here. We'll go a little bit lower on, let's say, Solana. Not much. We'll go through a percentage meter here, around the 1-2%. Okay, if we do decide to dip off a little bit more, and then we should start to see some strength. So what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to drop off maybe a little bit more here. Then I think the candle is going to be bought up a little bit. And I think tomorrow's candle is a green candle, daily candle that pushes into the trend lines. Then we are close to squeeze. That's why it's important for me today to have these positions. So again, what I'm going to do on a couple over here, let's go through here and just see. I see we got my own one here on WEX. I'm going to take a little bit of a Solana long now, okay, because I ain't going high leverage or anything like that as it speaks. I'm going to be releasing a lot of information, guys, shortly on all the positions and portfolios that I'm kind of running, because I'm going all in. I'm going really in, you know, when it comes to I have conviction for these moves. I have conviction at any point the market's going to wake up. So I want to share with you guys, I'm trading some accounts that are going to be $10,000 accounts, $5,000 accounts, some will be $1 million accounts. You know, they're all going to have different strategies. But I do just want to show you guys, I'm going to open up some sol longs here. At the moment, I have a little bit of a busy schedule of shooting videos after this. I don't have too much time to stare at the charts, but let's go through. So again, that's the play there on Bitcoin. Let's quickly speak about if price does want to go a little bit deeper, what does that kind of look like? We shouldn't see price go much deeper than the 106. So again, I'm calling a little bit more down now and then a bounce up. Okay, but if we do decide to go a little bit lower, right, there is a couple of supports that I want to highlight to you guys. We got 105, and if the market does want to dip off more, we do have at 104, and that would be maybe a little bit more bearish news or something hits the market. Okay, but that is there, it's aware, and that's why anything I'm buying now, nice stops. I ain't worried about going in strong. Now, this is why I think it's important on altcoins. This for me is important. Is altcoins broke resistance, which was really good to see. So I want to quickly show you this over here. Okay, so we were fighting for the last little while. You see here for multiple days, around 6 days, we're fighting this resistance over here, right? Now, I want to show you guys how we have now not only broken that resistance, but we are now turning it into support. Okay, so these highs now have been broken. Okay, and why? Because it was a bunch of trend lines. I just want to show you guys trends, breakouts, retest, and these highs. We broke that, which means now we are coming into support. Okay, so it's telling us there's a lot of support buys now. We can bounce anywhere in these ranges over here when it comes to the alts. Okay, and then again, what I think will happen is we might see a red candle finish today. Maybe the market turns when market opens. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that tomorrow the candle is green, right? And we should start seeing a nice breakout from the alts. This was a very important high to break. We couldn't get through it for 7 days. We broke through it, which means now get ready for support buys and get ready for push-ups. So here, like a couple of ideas again. If you look at things like ETH, here is ETH coming into the retest zones. ETH broke out a trend. Okay, it's got support. It actually has support all the way down over here to the areas of the 2420. Okay. So again, just to show you a couple of risk categories when it comes to ETH, because ETH is another token that I'm definitely getting ready to load up on more. I'm actually going to take another small position now. I don't have too much. I leave on a flight tomorrow. So I don't have too much time to manage these. So I'm going in lower leverage right now. And I will build them up once we are in the green, right? So once we're in the green, I can build them up. But I'm going to take this over here. Purpose of the show, I don't want to take too long, but I've given you guys where I put stop losses. Matthew, after stream, please make sure I got stop losses, sir. Thank you. Amazing. Yes?
Yes.
You got me, sir. You got me. Okay. So again, seeing things like ETH are looking incredibly strong. Let's go through a couple of the winners as well. I think a 𝗬𝗎 entry is coming in. I think the next 𝗬𝗎 pop is going to be big. I think after this, we have 2 plays on 𝗬𝗎. 𝗬𝗎 also broke the highs, which is good. And I think 𝗬𝗎 is getting ready for a 3.7 to a $4 push. So I think there's a nice push incoming on 𝗬𝗎. We also have XRP that put in an important breakout. And now it's coming into support zones. So your bounce zones are here at this 2.15 and the 2.17. Okay, let's quickly just work out a stop loss over here quickly. The stops will be a little bit bigger on XRP. So it wouldn't be a crazy leverage token for today. So it stops at around 2.1. So if we just look at the percentage, it's around 2.4%. Okay, right now, if you enter right now, right, that's where the stops would be under the big 618 areas over there. Next ones, injectives looking good. I'm not calling it right now. I will call it when I'm happy with it. Doge, good buy zones incoming on Doge. Breakout of trend, retesting right now, higher highs, right? Cardano, breakout, retesting right now. Okay, so you can see a bunch of these entries are coming in. Algorand are coming in. I saw a couple of alts that pumped hard yesterday. 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗏 had a strong pump. I want to show you how 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗏 broke a very long-term day trend. So it's coming in for retest. I think 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗏 for some spot buys and accumulating anything on the ETH ecosystem is looking incredibly strong. I want to go through a couple of here as well. The indicator is also saying to load up on a bit of XRP right now. Let's see what it's saying on Solana, on Sols. Yes, we are in these zones for some Sol buys right now. It's also saying put a tight stop loss in case we dip off to the lower range. So there's some buys on Sol over here. This is the 1 hour. What's going to kind of happen in the next couple hours, right? I also want to show you guys, let's actually look at RSIs. I think RSIs are very important to pay attention to right now. Let's go through. Okay, so daily, that's Arbitrum. Let's go through it. Okay, so daily's getting topish on the daily for Bitcoin. 4 hours nearly at the bottom. That's why more red kind of makes sense. 1 hour's at the bottom. So we should see a temporary bounce pretty soon. And then we'll see the next catalyst on how high we get from there. And then we'll basically navigate. But again, I would say 2-3 days of redness. And then we start to see the markets move up again. Let's go have a look at things like TON. Yes, TON's looking okay, not the greatest. Anything that's not looking the greatest, it is great long term. Extremely great long term. Like, look at that. All right, accumulate long term. Short term, nothing crazy breaking out over there. Let's see if AVAX is giving a breakout. Not yet on AVAX just yet. So guys, again, my 3 plays today, right? Sui, Solana, Ethereum. 3 trades I'm opening today. Tomorrow, once we get the next pop, there are 20 to 30 altcoins that are coming in that are giving us buys. Other alts that are also in buy zones: Dogecoin, Cardano. Guys, so I also want to give a shout out again. Anyone that doesn't have a BTCC account, open up. You get a 10% bonus on deposits. Anything up to a $10,000 bonus. So that's up to 100K deposit, right? Over here. Again, last week I did give indicator. I'll decide. I'll give you guys maybe till Friday. I might give another 1, maximum 2 more accesses to my indicator. I don't want to give a lot away, guys. Something that I'm building a lot on right now. But if you are using a BTCC account or a WeX account, I will be giving away to 1 of each users at the end of the week. On Friday, I'll give away. And all you need, I'll choose you from the comments, and you just need to have a deposited an account. So there's strong deals over here. And remember to go sign up for the school. There is the school over there for you guys to sign up. And a big shout out to Bybit as well. Big shout out to Bybit. I'm trading a lot on Bybit. And one thing that I can tell you very much that's cool about Bybit is I trade isolated on leverage. There's my, did I just leak my damn email? Don't email me, guys.
We'll take it out, don't worry.
Okay, take it out, please. If you were going to email the shit out of me now. Amazing. When it comes to that, with Bybit, if you want a Bybit account, they got great deals as well. And they are incredible when it comes to a tool of trading with. If you're on isolated, you can up your leverage. You can change things as you are in the trades, which is incredible. Guys, lots of love to you all. I'll see you tomorrow with I'll do a show tomorrow, no show Wednesday, but then back on Thursday and Friday. But I will be back tomorrow for new entries. Have a great day. Love you lots. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.